Mega Man X was a reboot of sorts for the immensely popular Mega Man series. It arrived on North American shores in early 1994, released exclusively for the Super Nintendo. Mega Man X was a huge hit amongst fans and the press, spawning a whole new franchise of Mega Man games. Many consider this one of the finest games ever released for the SNES, retaining everything that made Mega Man so great, adding the perfect amount of new features to make the entire experience feel new again, and refining every aspect of the game from top to bottom. Mega Man X starts with a tutorial stage of sorts, letting you figure out the new gameplay mechanics, like the ability to cling and jump off walls. The stage ends with a fight, which X promptly loses. We are rescued by another character named Zero, who encourages X to develop the skills necessary to finally take down Sigma. It's a good way to start the game and give some purpose to the adventure about to unfold. After this, the familiar layout of 8 selectable levels presents itself. The end of each stage is a battle against a Maverick. Defeating a Maverick will add a new weapon to X's arsenal. Of course, each Maverick has a weakness to a specific weapon. A bit of trial and error is necessary to determine which bosses are weak to which weapons, in order to chart a course through the game which best takes advantage of this structure. However, obtaining weapons and simply moving onto the Maverick weak to said weapon isn't necessarily the best way to do it. Each of the 8 weapons has a vastly different attack shape, radius, and speed, which adds a lot of depth to the boss battles, encouraging you to try all of them in different situations. Of course, X also has the X-Buster, which is a fairly competent weapon by itself. Other upgrades are also hidden in the stages that help make the game a lot easier. Heart tanks are permanent extensions to the life bar. Sub-tanks let you store extra life from defeated foes, and armor upgrades give X new abilities. The armor upgrades even change X's appearance, making him look even more badass as more are collected. Perhaps the biggest upgrade is the leg armor, granting X the ability to dash. This also lets X perform a dash jump and a dash jump off a vertical surface, allowing more freedom of movement than ever before. Not only do the additional upgrades change the way you think about tackling the 8 levels, the stages themselves actually change depending on the order you play them. Defeating Chill Penguin will cause everything in the Flame Mammoth stage to be frozen, making the level much easier to manage. For many, this really puts Mega Man X over the top, and some consider it one of the best designed games ever created. Everything feels so thoughtful and well placed. For me, however, the best aspect of Mega Man X are the controls. This can be a really challenging game, but because everything is so responsive, it never feels overwhelming. The jumping is perhaps the tightest of any game I've played in recent memory. Holding down the jump button will perform a decent jump with a good amount of float. Releasing the jump button early will immediately cancel the jump and send X on a downward trajectory. This makes targeting down enemies or navigating tricky platforms a ton of fun. Also better than average are the bosses. While some are ridiculously easy when using the weapon they are weak to, others are a real treat with complex patterns that can be tough to react to, but again, as the controls are excellent, these are also a ton of fun. They rarely wear out their welcome, are rarely cheap, and usually give a great sense of satisfaction once you finally figure out how to best bring them down. The final levels in the Sigma Fortress are significantly tougher, and at times the magical feeling is a bit lost for me, but still, as a whole, Mega Man X is pretty damn awesome. Matching the fantastic gameplay are the graphics. Mega Man X just might be the best looking game on the Super Nintendo. Seriously, the 8 different levels plus the final Sigma Fortress stages are detailed and varied. The enemy design is top notch, and everything has a smoothness to it which is incredibly appealing to the eye. Mega Man X's soundtrack follows suit. While some of the tracks have a bit of overly reverberated mediocreness to them, others are just outstanding. The blend of video game chip tunes and synthesized rock really elevates the action. Again, as a whole, this one is near the top of the Super Nintendo heap for me, with tracks I would actually want to listen to outside the game. It's really hard to find anything to complain about in Mega Man X. A few nitpicks would include the extremely linear level layouts at times, the rather bland feeling of the Launch Octopus stage, the Launch Octopus himself having an annoying attack, and the dash jump not always registering when clinging to a wall. That's honestly it. Mega Man X is such a wonderful experience, and I can't say enough about it. While I try to review games as objectively as I can, all I really care about at the end of the day is how much fun I'm having. When playing Mega Man X, I'm having an insane amount of fun. In the end, that's all that really matters. 5 out of 5.